느끼지 못한 날 화면밖에 네 표정을 본 적이 있어.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a kind of video I've seen a bit, kind of like people talking about their romantic experiences in Korea, and I didn't really want to do a video like that, so I wanted to like spice it up a bit. I wanted to talk about the 7 different guys I met in Korea. Obviously I met a lot more, but these are the most significant ones, and I just wanted to have fun with it. I'm starting from the less significant to the more significant guys. When I went to Korea, there was a bunch of international students. I'm the type of girl in high school, I guess I was boy crazy throughout school, so I would like sit in my classes and I would scope out like where's the cute guy, are there any cute guys, and that's the guy I'd go after. So basically I won't deny I was kind of similar that way when I went abroad, and there's 2 guys that I thought were super cute. I would call this guy Mr. Ignorant, like undercover ignorant. At first I wasn't interested in him, I was interested in another guy, but he kept talking to me, asking me to go eat. Ugh, I feel like people are gonna know who they are in this video. He seemed to be really cool, like we had like decent conversation. It was kind of awkward sometimes because he would be so happy to see me when I walked into a room that it felt kind of like, okay, I mean, why are you so happy? It was kind of like a, I don't want to compare it to this, but it's kind of like a dog, like when you see something. But one of my friends met him at another occasion and she was like, he's stupid. And I'm like, oh, I don't think he's stupid. He's pretty cool. We had like decent conversation. And I'm not the type to write you off just because someone says something about you. You have to do something to me personally. That's just how I am. So she's like, yeah, he's stupid. And I'm like, I don't think he's stupid. And then someone else is like, And I'm like, are you serious? Soon after that conversation, I found out what they meant. So I am aware that in different countries, certain type of people are portrayed a certain way in the media, like specifically Black people. And they don't meet that many Black people. They're not accustomed to Black people. Like, they don't know that everyone's not the certain way they see in the movies. I don't put that blame on people. I do put that on American media. However, I feel like I'd rather talk to you, try to see if it's different from what I saw in the movies, ask you in a polite way. For me personally, I don't get offended when people from other cultures ask me, is this certain way? Like, people get so like uptight about it, but I don't, because they don't know it's this way. However, when you just blatantly go out and accuse people or say really offensive things without thinking maybe I should ask about it first, thinking it's funny, I don't mesh well with that. And he did that. At one instance, I asked for a piece of gum and I pretended like I was gonna take the whole thing, and he said, oh, come on, don't be Black like that. So you think because I'm Black, I'm gonna like steal your stuff, rob you? It was just so ignorant. I was just like, okay, you can have it back, let's not. Right? So that was strike 1. Then he had to mess up a second time. After that, I was done. So I washed my hair, and obviously my hair shrinks, it looks different. It was before I was natural. I had like permed hair. I saw him, and it was him and the other guy that I originally was more interested than him. And I could tell he was about to make some stupid joke. Like, he was like, oh yeah, and I was like, I welcome questions that you want to know the honest answers to, but I do not welcome ignorance and laughing at stuff or whatever that you're not aware of. And he kept trying to go, and I was like, no, let's just stop. No, stop. And so I feel like he didn't get that I was annoyed with him, and he kept trying to act like nothing happened, because I feel like to him nothing did happen. He was kidding. Maybe he thought I was kidding. And so he kept like trying to invite me places and all this kind of stuff, and I was just not with it. And Cacao was just like, he had said something annoying, and I was like, you say these things, blah blah blah. And then we just had it out a little bit, and after that we just didn't really talk like that. I just didn't like that sort of ignorance. I don't mind if you ask questions and you're sincere about it, but don't come attack stuff that you don't know. Like, don't come try to talk about stuff or make fun of someone else and their culture, and like trying to assume things about someone else's culture. The first guy that I saw that I was like, oh, he's so cute, he just gave off such positive vibes. I won't call him what I described him as, because then he'll know, but I call him happy-go-lucky. He just seemed to have good energy. He was always like joking around, but I noticed he was hanging out with this girl a lot, and I was just like, oh, that was kind of a turn off. But then I realized the girl had a boyfriend and they just had a lot in common. Apart from that, yeah, he was just really nice, and he was kind of like flirty too, and I was like mind you, I want to tell you, like, while I was in Korea, I was just like single. Had been single for almost a year then. I was good by myself. But you know, I'm flirty by nature. So he was all good and he just, you know, good vibes. I guess he was talking to one of my friends at the time. This was after, you know, he's long gone from my mind. He was talking to one of my friends at the time, and let me tell you, he was one of those people that you can never imagine mad. I guess they were having a disagreement, and where we all hung out has like a patio on the outside, and they were out there, and like, you know, there's a field out there where people play soccer and stuff, and then people are just everywhere. It's a university, right? All of a sudden, boom, he was like, you don't act like that, blah blah. Just, I forgot what he said, and we're like, everyone's blinking. All the Koreans are just like, I was with my friend, I was like, we need to go. He wasn't Korean, so, and she was Korean, and they were, let me tell you, they were going back and forth. She's like, well, you don't understand, you just, and I'm like, whoa, whoa. After I saw that temper, I was like, no. Everyone gets mad, I get mad, but it was like a switch. It was like I didn't know that person. Like, every time I saw him, it was like he had a secret, and it was scary. I wanted to include him, but I made a separate story time on him. This one is Daddy. He wasn't really Daddy, but Daddy is from the other video. I'll link it above. Since I already told you about the Daddy guy, I decided to tell you about the Army guy. The university I studied abroad at, there was a Army base close by, and sometimes the Army guys would come play soccer. So the dorm is enclosed and there's a gate. My dorm was like this, and the steps were so steep, and then at the very bottom, like you go down some more, there was a soccer field, and some of the Army guys would come and play soccer with some of the guys living in the dorm. So one day, he was sitting down on the stairs leading up to my dorm, and he was like, hey. And usually, guys, usually for me, I dismiss everyone, like, quickly. My friends talk about how I dismiss people without giving them a chance. It sounds weird. I really don't like really getting hit on. Rarely do I find it flattering. Maybe it's because guys always come up to me like really, hey mom. But the way he approached was different, and that's why I stopped and talked to him. He was like, hey, what's up, blah, 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 where are you from? And so we were just talking, and then something I never do. I think it was the first time I've ever done it. He asked for my number, and I gave it to him. I like never do that. Or cacao. He asked for my cacao. That's why I gave it to my thing. And he was real cool. I don't think I thought it was gonna go anywhere. I mean, friends or something. So later that night, I had gone out with some friends to have Korean barbecue downtown. And I was talking about some guy I met to one of the girls that I got closer to. And she was like, wait, is he like this black American guy? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, is his name whatever? Actually, I don't even remember what his name is at this point. And I'm like, yeah, that's him. And she was like, girl, when I was going into the dorm, he asked to use the bathroom, so I let him use the bathroom, and then like we're talking, and then I gave him my number. And he used like the same lines on us, right? So we decided to mess with him, because he was like saying the same exact stuff to us. Like, we reviewed our messages, and basically we started texting him the same exact things and sending them at the same time. And this boy was not catching on. Then he goes, hey, you're like texting the same thing as this friend I met today. And I'm like, boy, we're texting the same exact thing, and you... Alright, then we busted him. When he got busted, he's like, oh, ha ha ha, you guys got me. But can we still hang out though? Can we still be friends though? Boy, you was busted. Keep it moving. Like, you'll find someone else. Next semester, there'll be someone else. Just, boy, bye. Bye. The next person is the, can I take a picture with you? There was a guy. I'll tell you guys what he was, because this helps put it in perspective. He was Chinese. On the first week of class, we had assembly. Like, I think it was the first 2 days we had an assembly where we had to go sit down and we meet all the teachers. Mind you, they're speaking all in Korean because, like, there's more advanced people. What about us, the ones that just began our Korean journey? What? But anyway, so we were at that, and I had to sit next to him. I didn't know anyone in my class. And all of a sudden, he's like, he can't speak English, so he's like, and he has his phone up like this, and then we took a picture. I was like, sure, like, oh, okay. And I took a picture with him, and nothing in my brain said, why does this person that you've never talked to before, that's in your class, for like, you met like 2 days ago, barely, want to take a picture with you randomly? And then I remember my friend that studied abroad in China said that they literally be taking pictures, like acting crazy, like just going up to you, snapping selfies with you, not asking whatever, just to be like, oh, I met a black person. So I was like, oh my gosh, did he just do the I met a black person to me like right now? I didn't even notice. A month or so goes by, we're like used to our Korean class, and every week we change seats, right? Our teacher did it so that we can like get to know each other better. So at one point I switched seats and I ended up sitting next to him. Guys, it was so weird. I think it was after midterms maybe, and I had done really well on the test. Most people had done poorly, but he, or maybe he liked me. I really didn't know what it was. We were in those desks where the desk is attached to the chair, and all of a sudden one day he just literally just and scoots his desk next to mine, and I'm like, oh, okay. During break time I kind of scoot away, and then he scoots closer, like when he comes back, because he sees the desks are farther away. Like, he doesn't, no one's desks are touching, but somehow he's literally about to touch my desk. Every desk is like this far apart, right? At least this far apart, and he's like this close, like this close. And I'm just like, what? Like, so it kept going like this. And one day before he got to class, I moved our desks far apart, right where they're supposed to be, right? He comes in the classroom, goes into the desk. Before he sits down, he lifts the desk up, walks it over, and sits it right next to mine, just touching. Like, we could touch each other. And I was just like, oh, what's going on? Like, what's going, I'm so confused. It got so bad to the point where I was sitting to his left and his friend was sitting to his right, and I had to get up to use the bathroom during break time, and I couldn't even get up and go through the desk because his desk was that close. And then his friend was like, he literally slaps him like, man, like I can't understand because they were speaking a different language, but he was like, move. And then like, that's when he moved. It was so bizarre, and I never found out why he did that. And it didn't seem like he liked me or anything, so all I could think was he wanted to cheat off my papers. The next guy, I'll call him Stankin' Breathboy. This guy was in my Korean language class, and supposedly his mom is like Korean and his dad's like Chinese or something like that. He would always come in late to class every single day. I think he was on time one time to class. Sometimes he even came 30 minutes to an hour late. Sometimes it was because he was like out clubbing, meeting girls, or apparently he got a job. It's somewhere in between that. He would come off as arrogant because he knows how to speak Korean fluently. However, the bad part is he can read or write. So then, you know, he's sitting here talking to the teacher. So when he couldn't read or write, he basically looked really bad in front of the class. People had no mercy for him, to be honest, because when you kind of portray yourself like that, you know, I could see that he was a little misunderstood. I feel like he was just putting on an air, and he didn't realize it was detrimental to his social life in the class. I told you that we switched seats every week based on like random. I sat next to him at one point, and he always wanted to talk to me. However, he wasn't that good at English, so he would like do like Korean and English together. But I don't know if it was because he's always running late for class, but his breath smelled so bad. And I tried to hold my breath, and he would always turn and talk to me, like always during class. I think it's because he was probably rushing, so he didn't get time to brush his teeth, something like that. But guys, I dreaded the whole week I had to sit next to him. I was ready for the seat change. You guys have no idea. He kept breathing on me, and he wasn't like trying to put his seat next to mine like the other guy, but I don't think he knew his breath smelled bad. The one part that made our teachers really, like especially one of them, really just not like him is the fact that he thought him being late was funny, and he always made a joke about it. This first couple times everyone laughed, but after that all the other people in class were like, you're not funny. It was so bad that our Korean teacher roasted him. I guess he got a Korean girlfriend. She basically said, I understood. I think I was the only one that understood in class. She basically said, like, one of the meanest teachers. No, I think she was one of the nice ones, but she was so annoyed by him being late and thinking it's funny. And she was like, oh, you have a Korean girlfriend and you can't even read or write Korean. Isn't she ashamed of you? How do you even talk to your girlfriend? La 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 la, you're not a good student. And I was like, oh man, was she really coming at him hard? Because he just wasn't taking it seriously. And he didn't do his homework either, and he wasn't like improving. Let's talk about someone here. During the first couple weeks of me studying abroad, they had a welcome party at the International Lounge. They threw us a party where they had like food and stuff, and at this party, guys, I saw this guy and I was like, I have to talk to him. Like, I'm going to talk to him. I will get his information. He was so fine. He was so fine. He was tall, like above 6 foot. He was built, but not like crazy muscular. Like, you could tell he went to the gym, you know, he did upkeep. He dressed so well. He looked good with and without glasses. Like, he was, I'll call him Mr. Too Perfect. One of the other exchange students talking to him, right? And I just wiggled my way in there. I didn't know her like that. I had talked to her like maybe one time. I wiggled my way over there, like acting like I'm talking to her. And then I'm like, hey, introduced myself, you know, got in there. And I saw him a couple times at the lounge after that. I don't even remember how I exchanged information with him. But like, I wouldn't see him at the lounge anymore. And it was sad because I was looking forward to seeing him. Like, I gotta be on points. Like, he was so cute. Like, I sent him to my friends and my friends were like, oh my gosh, girl, where can I get one of him? And I'm like, girl, it's all mine. Yeah, I was all about that. One day, like, I hadn't seen him in the lounge in a long time, and I'm like, oh. And then I walked into the lounge and I saw him, and I was low-key almost drooling. He was wearing a black button-up shirt, black pants, black shoes, black blazer. His hair was slicked back. He was just looking all kinds of fine. All kinds of fine. I looked at my friends. I'm like, he's here. And I'm just like, keep it cool. We're keeping it cool. We're gonna go say hi like a normal human being. So I'm like, oh, hey, how are you? He's like, good. I haven't seen you in a while. And I'm like, yeah, you look really nice today. And he was like, me? He's like, you look really nice today. Mind you, I was not dressed up. I was wearing a crop turtleneck sweater, high-waisted black pants. It was nothing. In my head, I was like, I was like, oh me? Oh, little old me? I was like, no. You know, I just put this together. I was texting him at one point, like, you know, trying to get to know him. He seemed like a really cool dude. The reason his nickname is Mr. Too Perfect is there had to be something wrong with him because he was really smart too. He had been at the school for a couple of years and he was fluent in Korean too. Like, I was just like, there must be something. He told me about a time he went on a date with a girl and she just seemed too easy and he's not into that, and he really wanted to leave her on the date, but like he stuck it through, but he never contacted her again. And I was like, you live in a 1-bedroom apartment and you're telling me that what? You're not even a player? There is something wrong with this boy. Eventually, I had stopped like texting him. For me, I can text you first a lot, right? Just to pique interest. But like, if I'm always the one texting you first and you never text me first, I'm not trying to like chase someone that is not interested in me. It was like a surface level interested in him. You know, I was thinking it could go somewhere, but I wasn't about to chase him for it. And we didn't message for a while. The one time I saw him, he was like, you don't even message me anymore. And I'm like, phone works both ways. Or like, as my study abroad was ending, I guess he messaged me or I saw him. He's like asking me when I'm leaving. And like, he wants to see me before I leave. And I'm like, you want to see me? Like, we haven't talked in a while. And it was just so weird. I didn't know the explanation. I didn't want to know the explanation either because at the time I wasn't really interested in him anymore. But my friends and I were in the subway station taking like group pictures in humbucks. Like, the subway stations in Korea have like a lot of different things, and they have picture places where you can go take like group portraits, and we were taking them. And he was like, oh, I'll come to the train station before I go to, I forgot where he was going. So I went out and met him and we chatted a little bit and he hugged me and I was like, it was great meeting you. And then my friends came like, but actually that was it. It was very short-lived. The next guy, we were super duper close and like our personalities got along, and I had met him through another friend. She was from my university and she had studied at Keimyung University the semester before. She had introduced me to him, so I had been talking to him for like a month or whatever before my trip. Now we just became friends right off the bat and we just meshed so well. Like, our personalities went well together. We were dumb together. Like, he reminded me of like my brothers or like my guy friends. Like, we're just really stupid together. And everyone kept assuming we're dating, especially the Mr. Arrogant guy. Like, it seemed like he was jealous. He's like, oh, is that your boyfriend? Yeah, I just never saw him that way, especially because he's the type of person Like, we could be friends, but I could never see us being more. And everyone just really assumed we were dating. It was pretty annoying. He was super helpful while I was in Korea. He helped me have a lot of fun. And still till this day, like, we talk. The last person, I guess you can say they're the most significant person out of all the guys that I met in Korea. I met him through a friend, and I didn't think anything of him. The first thing I saw was like him like kicking one of my friend's shoe across the floor. I'm like, why are you doing that? But I never like really thought about him. It was just like, oh cool, another friend or another person I met. We kept hanging out together in like groups, and then one day we were supposed to eat with two other friends and they bailed, so we eat together, and I tried to be like, hey, you know, we don't have to go. That was me saying I really don't want to go, but I'm trying to be like nice about it. He's like, oh no, I still want to go, like we can still go. So we went solo, and I thought it was gonna be incredibly awkward, but it was just really nice and natural and cool and stuff, and we vibed. And then we hung out solo some more because a friend ditched us again, and next time he had asked me to go shopping with him, and we did that. And at that time, is he gonna kill me? He had confessed his feelings to me like via a note, and I was like, oh god, no, why? Like, this was in June, and I had a feeling once he gave it to me. I was like, no, what am I supposed to do? I don't like him like that, and I'm leaving like next month. Like, it was like the end of June. I'm like leaving in a couple weeks, and I'm like, I was like, no, thank you for your confession, but I'm sorry, like, you know, I'm leaving soon and I don't feel the same way, and I hope we can be friends. Then after his confession and everything, he kept asking me to hang out. There was one point where it was like only girls going to this concert. He asked to go, and I'm like, oh, it's just gonna be girls. It might be uncomfortable for you and you don't know some of the people. He's like, oh, that's fine with me. I'm like, he's kind of annoying me. And then, I don't know, we stopped talking a little bit, and I guess I missed him, and like, it's cheesy, it's another story, but basically that ended up well. It's my boyfriend. Surprise. I hope you guys like this kind of video. I just wanted to make something different than what everyone else was making. If you want to see more videos, like, subscribe, comment your comments down below of what I should do next. Sorry this was such a late video, you know, life changes, stuff like that. But thank you guys for watching, and I love you. Bye.